you, so I want to talk to you about raising your ambition. I'm just going to get Instagram on right now. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about raising your ambition, you guys. Look, I think sometimes we've got this block about making money, as if that making money is somehow a horrible, bad thing. But the truth is it's time to raise your ambition, right? Like, here's the deal. Anything cool that you want, typically, not always, but often, has a connection with a person or a connection with an experience. And so here, follow me here for a second. So I just got a text message from somebody who I adore. I've known her for a long time. She just went through my Pace Club, and she literally just sent me a text message. She said, I've been living off my savings for 3 years now, Shanda. She's beyond grateful, and she's using my sales strategy right now. Here's what's cool. She sold $18,000 like just recently. I mean, on top of that, she had 8,000 of that put in the bank like right away. So here's what I want to share with you. You're closer than you think to whatever goal that you want. And I think often we live too small. We think too small. You know, I was messaging with Jesse Itzler yesterday, and I was like, hey, let's jump on the phone really quickly. He's like, oh, I'm actually getting on a plane going to LA because Sarah Blakely, who owns Spanx, is going to be on Shark Tank. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then it dawned on me, I was like, you know, the cool thing about making a lot of money, here's why I actually continue to have a drive to make more and build a bigger business and make a bigger impact in the world, is actually because of the level of influence you can have. Do you know how many cool freaking things you can do on this planet when you have a lot of money? Now forget about even that. Do you know how many cool people you hang out with? Because so many of the people who make a lot of money had to let go of an attitude of ungratefulness. They had to let go of, you know, emotional triggers. They had to let go of being controllers. Do you know how many people I see that are actually, they laugh at the fact that they're a controller? Don't laugh about that. Like, let go of that. Stop owning that shit, right? Stop owning that shit. Stop owning that you're something that causes you pain, right? Like, start setting your emotion. It's very hard for your mind to hold on to something and hold on to something else at the same time. That's why if you're holding on to fear, you're kind of fucked, right? Because you're holding on to fear, your focus is going on fear, you're just growing fear, and you trip and you fall and you break your ankle, and all the bad things come with that type of thought process, right? They just do, because your mind will track whatever it is that you are focused on. It's the reason why when you want a new car, you see the new car everywhere, right? You see it everywhere. So funny, someone was just text messaging me, are you doing coffee with Shanda? You'll see the car everywhere. What if you just got ambitious enough and, you know, strong enough in your mind to just focus on what you want? Like this morning, my alarm goes off again, and I'm laying there and I'm like, what do I want today? Like, what would be really cool if it happened today? And my mind started to dream. And this takes some practice, at least it did for me, because at first when I started to do this, I thought it was a waste of time, right? That's the only reason why you predominantly don't do something. You think it's some way it's a waste of time. And so you don't do it because you'd be freaking insane to really believe it works and not do it, right? So instead of being this positive thinker, like, I know all this personal development and I know what I should do and I know I should be more positive, stop that shit, right? The truth is you don't believe it's going to work. And so what if you could just let go of control and you could just allow yourself for the next 7 days? You know, the Bible talks about tithing for 6 months. Test me for 6 months. Give your money for 6 months, even if it's sacrificial, meaning that you go without eating. Somebody's going to give me crap for that somewhere. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, you know, if you just give in these areas, you're going to find that things start to go up. But you've got to manage your mind, right? And so this morning I dreamed, and then I woke up to a beautiful text message, and then, you know, all of that type of stuff. So my point of sharing all of this with you is that, you know, you get to set a crazy, ridiculous dream. Like Sarah Blakely on Shark Tank. I'm sure this is a very cool moment for her. I mean, obviously, her husband was on the plane going with her. It's a cool moment, right? And so do you want cool moments like that? Make a lot of money. I know, I'm not saying that all cool moments come from a lot of money. There's walking the beach with my son last night and at sunset and like sitting on the sand as he ran out to the water and the fear of the water taking him and just standing there going, okay, I don't want to make him fearful. If something happens, I trust that I'll get into that water quick enough to get him, and allowing him to have his experience without micromanaging him so he's not sitting in a personal development training because he doesn't believe in himself because I, his mother, micromanaged him. Like all that type of stuff takes discipline, right? It all takes discipline, but that didn't cost me $1, right? Like that didn't cost me anything, and arguably one of the most beautiful moments ever. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do is to be on the beach with him while he runs out to the water and comes, because he always, when the ocean comes, I'm looking at the ocean right now, as it comes back in, he runs back to me and gives me this amazing bear hug that I just love, and it doesn't cost $1. So for you guys who want to judge or even allow a wall up in that moment when I'm saying make a lot of money so that you can do a lot of cool stuff, let that go, because I acknowledge that a lot of things happen without $1 in your pocket. A lot of beautiful moments. However, a lot of very cool moments on this planet come from making a lot of money. They just do. You don't get to be on Shark Tank without making a lot of money. Meaning that if you're a judge, I mean, of course you could become a participant, but still the people who I've met that are participants on it, they were super ambitious. I know 3 friends who've been on Shark Tank, and they're 3 of my most ambitious friends. These opportunities don't just happen to slumps, right? They don't happen to people who say, I'm just going to make enough money so I can travel the world and just do nothing. Do you know that building an incredible business, it's the most unselfish thing you will ever do? It is so unselfish because the level of you having to let go of worry, we're so addicted to it. You have to let go of worry in order to scale a company in a way that you're not going to quit, right? So the problem isn't that you don't want to grow a big company because you think if you do, you have to give up traveling the world. No, you don't. I'm about to go on 2 weeks of traveling, right? It's not about that. It's not either or. It's actually that the reason why you think you only want to build a company to this level is because you actually believe that your freedom will be taken away because you're a stress basket, right? There's a certain level of stress that starts to hit you, and what happens is you don't want to experience that stress. So my beg to you, my invitation to you is the invitation of letting go of rigidness in your thinking, right? The opportunity for you to actually focus on one thing. I mean, and trust me on this, I know somebody right now who has grown a great business with her husband, but she does 3 freaking things. Like she's like a love coach, she's a personal development coach, and I hear all the time, people are like, well, what is she? But she doesn't know that that's actually hurting her, right? She doesn't know that woman could probably be a billionaire because she's that powerful, but she's dibble-dabbling in everything, right? So it takes courage to say, I take a stand for this. Doesn't mean you can't have other hobbies. Doesn't mean you can't be involved in other things. I can sit on other boards. I can raise money for charity. I can, create personal development trainings. I can do stuff like that. However, my main focus going towards one direction is to help you become financially free. It's to help you be in a situation where money is never a reason why you don't have children, don't donate, don't tithe, don't fly first class, don't drive a Porsche, whatever, right? Like whatever you want to do. It's a reason why you're like, you can take off for a year if you want to and go give back on the planet for a year, or travel for a year with someone that you love and never miss a bump, right? So if I took off for a year in business, I would actually replace myself. I would spend a couple years replacing myself so that I'm not trying to get a quick heroin fix of I need this now. It's like, what are you building, right? Before I had a baby, I didn't even have a boyfriend, and I told my company that in 2 years we're going to have a baby. And when I have a baby, here's where the company needs to be set up in order for us to have it work really well. Well, I laughed because Jean looked at me when I had the baby and said, I remember you saying that and thinking, you don't even have a boyfriend, right? And it's because of learning how to build. Learn how to build into a vision. Learn how to build into something that you want and lose the attitude of entitlement that you need it right now, right? Start trusting yourself, and you'll have much more patience when you trust yourself because you're going to get there because you do everything you say you're going to do. So stop breaking your word. Jesse asked a bunch of us to actually take a cold shower in a training he's doing with us. He's training us to face ourselves on the road of fitness to be able to become stronger entrepreneurs. And it's physical. And so one of the things he made us do on our off day, where we had a day off, is we had to take a full freezing cold shower. And I walked into the shower and, your head, like my head does this, your head does this. I was like, I really don't need to do this. I mean, it's my program. I put the program together with Jesse. I've done stuff like this before. That I've done stuff like this before is the mentality of I already know it, right? And the minute you start to think that, so it's not about you never thinking it again, right? Like, we're not bad people because we think this way. We need to not make other people in our lives, some of you ladies, you're men, right? Let's not make people in our lives bad because they're not, keeping their word, or they're breaking their word on something. Like, you do it too, right? But how quick can you let yourself off the hook and recommit? So when I reached out and turned that shower on freezing cold, I stepped into the shower, and at first it was like, ugh! And then it was amazing how quickly, when I committed and got into it, I was able to have a full shower, and it wasn't that bad. Why does that stuff happen? Well, it happens because we make a decision. It happens because we 100% commit. And when we commit, it doesn't matter what we feel. It doesn't matter what thoughts try and take us off track to stop, to not complete the shower. What matters is that we do it anyways. And if you want to ask me why certain people make it in business, in finances, in relationships, and all of that, it's because they don't let those things get in the way. They commit no matter how they feel, and they stay in it for the long run, which is why we get married, right? Which is why, and I'm not saying if you've ever gotten a divorce, there's a problem with that. But it's true, like, it's time to figure out, how do you commit 100% and go all the way, no matter how you feel? And what I really want to impart by you is raise your ambition. Why can't you be on Shark Tank, right? Like Sarah Blakely. Or why can't you have $1 billion company? Why can't you be the #1 influencer in your field, right? Like, why can't you? Well, you can if you just allow yourself to have your dreams grow a little bit bigger. So here's what I want to inspire in all of you guys. Get 5 cool friends. And this weekend, do a dream night, a dream day or a dream night. Grab a flipboard, go to Best Buy or whatever, Staples, whatever country you're in, and go get a big flip chart. And everybody who comes has one of the flip charts, right? And on the flip chart, you put each of your friends' names. And you guys spend a minimum of 15 minutes on each person dreaming. Set a timer. Because what happens is the initial dream usually isn't deep enough. And start asking yourself, well, what if it was possible? What if you could do anything? What if? And every time somebody stops at limitation, say, well, what if that wasn't there? What would you do? And allow the deeper and the deeper and the deeper and the deeper to come about, and allow a vision to come about, and then spend some time just thinking about it. And then before you switch to a new person, 15 minutes of dreaming, before you switch to a new person, then have everybody give them feedback on why they believe that they could actually achieve that. Right? So, one of the dreams I have right now is, I believe I can do it because I've already done so much in my life. I know I can do it because I've already built incredible streams of income inside my company. I've already done it because I've been in the work for 15 years. I already have done it. You know what I mean? So my point is you need to build your belief system around this dream, and then miracles come true that way. With a little bit of prayer and a lot of belief, things happen. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you. Would love to read some comments. Would love to hear what's up. Christy Miller, yes, raising our ambitions is scary because it opens us up to disappointment. But I would rather try and fall and never try at all. I'm dreaming big. Yeah. So Christy, that's a perfect example. When you do dream big, it does open you up to disappointment. When I did IVF, to get pregnant, I thought for sure, because everything works out for me. I mean, but that's a mantra I tell myself, right? Everything works out for me. And so when the first round of IVF didn't work, and please, if you're Christian or whatever, I believe in God, I read the Bible, but, there's a lot of Christians who have done IVF as well. So I did IVF, and the first round didn't work, and it hurt. I cried. In fact, I actually Facebook Lived into our Marketing Mastery group because I wanted them to see me raw. I wanted them to see me in the moment of a really hard disappointment where I gave it my all and it just didn't work, right? And I wanted them to see my mindset as it was in real time. This is what I mean by it really is an unselfish game. There's a lot of things I could have made up about that, like they're going to think I'm weak, or they're going to not respect me, or there's a lot of things that can happen, and those are reasons why people don't share these moments. But when you're committed to a vision more than anything, like I'm committed to my clients, really understanding how to disconnect from stress and become insane influencers in the world, like make millions of dollars, please make millions of dollars, right? You just have to become such a good person to often become a good person to do it and still be happy. Can you make millions of dollars and not be happy? Yes, but normally those people burn out. So if you hear somebody talking about burnout, and if you talk about burnout, you actually need to look in the mirror because you're selfish. Okay, that's why you're burning out. That's why you're stressed out, because everything you do is about you. And so I want you to feel embarrassed about talking about your burnout so that you can course correct it in your own life and stop being that person, right? Start giving, start leading from a vision. But Christy, I was devastated after that. And then I pulled it together. After about 3 days, I had to lead an actual mastermind when I actually miscarried before the IVF. I had to lead a mastermind the entire time and feel my emotions in the morning and then get up and be a pro. Right? And then I did a second round of IVF, and I thought for sure that was going to work. Come on, super healthy. It's got to work. Working with supplements and homeopathic doctors, acupuncture, the whole bit, and it didn't work either. Now I'm happy to say I still haven't given up, and I've got a better attitude about it than ever because I dream about it. I have little pink socks next to my bed. Okay, so yeah, you're going to get disappointed, but if you don't give up, you'll get what you want. The truth is I could get pregnant naturally. I could get an egg donor. I could adopt. I mean, there is always an option to be able to get what you want. But typically what people say is, I don't want an egg donor. I don't want to adopt. And then you ask yourself why you live so much without what you really want. Okay. Hey, you guys on Instagram, how you doing? Hi, Amir. Awesome. Nice to see you. Love this idea. I commit to raising my ambition. Yes, ambition is a real problem. We all have this entitlement mentality that we're going to work just enough to get what we need so we can have all the free time in the world. Here's the truth. You can have all the free time in the world because of a structure you put up in your life, and you can live it in any way you want, right? So my point is that you don't have to give only a little bit to just get what you want and then live this life of freedom. It's actually not a life of freedom at all, because you'll be stressed out about the fact that you'll be out of money soon because you only gave a little bit, right? So just don't be that person. And honestly, don't study from someone who thinks like that, okay? And if you're being like that, you need to break that open, okay? Because thoughts are like viruses, and viruses will infect your mind and they will hold you back. And it's really important that you hang out with people who have big dreams and are not selfish, people who are not bitching and complaining, people who are totally inspired about the difference they're making. Like I'm doing a webinar this morning in a few hours, and I'm inspired. I'm legitimately inspired to see who I'm gonna get to support and help, right? I'm not joking with you. I just think it's so cool. I was saying this to Ash yesterday, my husband. I said, I just think it's so cool that I get to work from a computer, by the ocean, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm nothing against an office. I'm intending to buy an office building next year and, you know, rent some of it out to friends and have a really cool collaborative workspace. You know, I'm creating every dream that I've ever wanted right here where I'm at, right? Like, this is why going to another city or country, it's not the answer. It'll fix you for a little while, just like getting a new car, right? But the truth is you got to go inward and do the work to be able to be happy. But I just think it's so cool that I get to do this for a living. You know, like, the whole reason why we started 6 a.m. coffees with Shanda was because I found a level of limitation with myself that I wanted to give back to you like this without, you know, the intention of like having to get anything from you. I want to build a big audience of you guys coming every morning. This is why I ask you to share, tag an entrepreneur. I want to build a huge group of people that I can influence on a daily basis. My money is taken care of. My company is going to keep growing the way it grows. It's just going to keep doing it. The way I set up the models, it's something called a freedom model. It keeps compounding and growing and cross-selling, and it's a machine at this point, right? Like, for me, it's just how many more people, how many more leaders can I get to hire inside my company to grow it, right? So that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for engagement, connection, reach, making a difference. And so I want you to share these posts. I want you to tag entrepreneurs so that I can make a bigger difference. But I just think it's cool that I get to do it. But you know what? 6 a.m. is usually my time to do whatever I want and dream. And that's why I chose 6 a.m. It was really the only time that it would fit in my calendar in a way that would work for me to be consistent. And the truth is it was a stretch. You know, sometimes I show up here with wet hair and my hair in a bun. Sometimes I show up where I haven't even brushed my hair. Sometimes I show up like this because I'm doing a webinar in a few hours and I'm going to show my face on the webinar. So I actually did my hair because not everybody who doesn't know you is as sweet. I actually had a woman tell me on one of our Facebook ads how disgusting my hair was and how ugly I was. And then I had somebody else with a video of my son and I. She was like, there was a bunch of people like, this is a scam, this lady is a scam, that's not even her kid. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing how angry people are, right? So people are not as forgiving out there. Know that the more complaints you get, the more difference you're making, right? And so this is all mindset stuff. Like, know who you are. Live ambitiously. Make a difference. Like, I could literally tear up right now. I am tearing up. You guys probably can't see it because of the computer, but I'm amazed that when I started this company, I just wanted to make $5,000 a month. I mean, I'm in gratitude. I'm in gratitude. This is gratitude because I'm actually feeling how incredibly fortunate I am. But I have worked very hard to have a lifetime of freedom. I've worked very hard for it, right? Building sales teams, building coaches, building managers in my company, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, mastering my craft. And it never ends. The personal development never ends. There's always a gap. But the gap doesn't make me feel bad about myself anymore. The gap should make you feel inspired that you still have something to work on. And that's cool because it means you still have a purpose. You still have something to step into and see what can you self-realize inside of yourself that you haven't seen yet. How much more kinder can you be? How much more generous can you be? How much more giving can you be? Right? How much better can you get at a sales conversation? How much better can you get at making an offer that impacts the hearts of your viewers so that they take action? Right? All of these things are amazing things to learn because you can make a huge difference in the world versus I hate sales, I don't like sales. Okay, well then that's selfish, right? Like that's selfish versus putting your mission on if I got good at sales, I could really grow this company, or you could really, bring on a lot of really great clients, or if you're a multi-level marketing reps, right? You could really create something special. And then once you have these people in your community, you could influence them to be better people. I'm influencing my people constantly to be better people. Shit, I'm giving them my Porsche to literally have the best quarter of their life, meaning that I'm trying to demonstrate generosity, giving, and that you don't have to just give a little bit of content to make offers. And I know some of my peers teach this, right? Don't give all of it, right? Give a little bit. And that's okay. That's just been what they've taught. But I'm going to influence them, and I'm going to keep influencing them to give more, give more, give more. Because when people know that they can get a result from you and you're good at making offers, they will still buy. Okay? So I hope this helps. I hope Coffee with Shanda helps. And God bless you guys. Hey, you guys on Instagram, I love that you are committing to raising your ambition, PT. Awesome. Hey, Brandy. Awesome, awesome. I have 2 mornings every day. One of mine is one with Shanda. I love that. I love your positivity. My positivity is I've built it. Love the change I've seen in you. Oh, that's great. Love the change I've seen in you the last few years. The giving and the love. Thank you. I appreciate that. Awesome. Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt Chippo. What's up? All right, you guys. Have a really good day. Ask yourself, what are you going to do with this today so that you can actually do something with it? You guys on Instagram, unfortunately, I won't be with you tomorrow. I'll only be on my Hardcore Business Facebook page, and hardcore is one word. You guys, I'm going to have Craig from A Perfect Day Formula on tomorrow with me. You know, he's who helped me structure my day, so I do have more freedom. At some point, no matter how good we are at anything, like I'm very good with my schedule, at some point, we always need each other. You know, at some point, I mean, I can't tell you how many of my clients I've hired along the way. You know, it's like we need each other. And so, you know, Craig was amazing for me, not just reading A Perfect Day Formula, but he was amazing for me to figure out how to structure my day to get more done and how to actually prioritize my day and even delegate to my team differently. So he also owns a company called Early to Rise, which is a huge publication. It was a dream and a manifestation of how he ended up owning that company. So he's very inspiring. He's awesome. We're going to be here at 6 a.m. We'll probably only be on for about 20 minutes. So set your alarms, whatever place of the world you're at. 6 a.m. California time, we will be live on just our Facebook page. So come join that. And then on Monday, next Monday, which I think is June 19th here in California, because I know we have people in Germany and all over the world watching us now. But on Monday, we are actually going to give you an opportunity to win $3,200 on our 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. Hopefully that will pay a bill, take you shopping, do something really cool for your life, make a difference for you if you're the person who wins that. So I'm really big on creating some level of contests because I get to see your level of generosity. Or are you somebody who's like, you know what, I'm not willing to give, or she's only doing that to get, or like, do you allow those thoughts to just limit your experience in life? So again, I always go look and I see who shared these posts so that I can see who my generosity players are. And that's not a tactic. I do this in my community. I do it everywhere. And then I look to reward you for being a team player. So God bless you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you here tomorrow morning with Craig. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.